takes a stand. G.I. Joes in disbelief. Gallagher Guy 88 has no relief. Kicked off YouTube, oh no. Retro show has to go. Multi-K magicize. Arcade's anonymous cries. Remember those good old days. Pixel dreams they set ablaze. Thoughts like guns in the air. Nostalgia was our only care. We'll find another way. Retro dreams won't sway. Arcades live in our hearts. New platform, new starts. Talking pixels all night long. Gaining beats in our song. Community stays strong. Together we belong.
Michael B. hands out loud and clear. Dubs pulls his hair, oh dear. Nostalgia laughs with a cheer. Detroit love says, what's this fear? Clap, clap, clatter, bang, bang. Keyboard song on which we hang. Super game room dudes unite. Through the noise we find the light. Dub size tries to refocus. Michael's rhythm is quite raucous. Nostalgia's grim, so contagious. Detroit love looks pretty curious. Clap, clap, clatter, bang, bang. Keyboard song on which we hang. Super game room dudes unite. Through the noise we find the light. In the noise we find the groove. Michael's beats make our hearts move. Dubs learns to go with flow. Dudes together steal the show. Michael B's tunes set the pace. Dubs can't help but embrace. Nostalgia beats big on his face. Detroit love holds solid grace.
And we wait.
Hot takes all around me. Fire burns so bright. Cold facts keeping steady in the darkest night. Opinions like a wildfire. Truths in black and white. Louder than the whispers. Clear as day and night. Hot takes sizzling. Cold facts don't lie. Dancing in the middle. Reaching for the sky. Shouting in the echo. Words that spark the flames. The facts they stand unmoving. Calling out the names. Hot takes sizzling. Cold facts don't lie. Dancing in the middle. Reaching for the sky. Ooh, 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 ooh. Shouting in the echo. Words that spark the flames. The facts they stand unmoving. Calling out the names. Hot takes sizzling. Cold facts don't lie. Dancing in the middle. Reaching for the sky. Opinions like a wildfire. Truths in black and white. Louder than the whispers. Clear as day and night. Hot takes sizzling. Cold facts don't lie. Dancing in the middle. Reaching for the sky. words that spark the flames. The facts they stand unmoving, calling out the names. Shouting in the echo, words that spark the flames. The facts they stand unmoving, calling out the names. Hot takes sizzling, cold facts don't lie. Dancing in the middle, reaching for the sky. In the noise and chaos, seek the silent sound, where the heat and coolness in harmony are found.
Yeah, Michael B typing, keyboard sounding like a drum line. B-dubs losing it, Ricky about the flat line. Super game room dudes ain't no room for peace. We start to searching answers, looking for the cease. Detroit love, scratching head, wonder what the deal. Michael B banging keys, those singers got some zeal. B-dubs yelling, make it down and cut it out. Show turning bonkers, all we hear is shout. Clap, tappity tap, B's keyboard on attack. B-dubs losing pages, straight to spin it back. Nostalgia and Detroit, man, they wonder where they at. Making music with the keys, but this ain't no rap. Clap, 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 clap. P-dubs muttering, get that thing off loud. Michael B just smirking, mind lost in the cloud. Restart your bullet schematics, trying to find a clue. Detroit love saying, bro, what we gonna do? Chaos in the room, keyboards causing woe. Michael B ain't slowing, tapping like he in a show. B-dubs ready to crack, headphones to the max. Restyle, just scratching noggin, calculating facts. Clap, clap, tappity tap, B's keyboard on attack. B-dubs losing pages, ready to spin it back. Nostalgia and Detroit, man, they wonder where they at. Making music with the keys, but this ain't no rap. Clap, 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 this ain't no rap. Yeah. Clack, clack, tap, Eddie tap. B's keyboard on attack. P-dubs losing patience, ready to spin it back. Nostalgia and Detroit, man, they wonder where they at. Making music with the keys, but this ain't no
To
rap.
be here to talk about the newest edition of our console lineup, PlayStation 5 Pro.
Ah,
and
there
how
it is.
advances gaming technology. But first, I want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the original PlayStation 5 and how it delivers an exceptional gaming experience.
Jeez. Live reaction, I didn't even have it on.
When PS5 debuted in 2020, it brought a lot to the table. 8 Zen 2 CPU that can be as high as 120 frames a second. PS5 has a powerful RDNA 2 GPU, which can render anything from intricate details to fantastic worlds with vast panoramas to explore. Ray tracing allows for dramatic visual improvements, including reflections off of water or glass, and the realism that comes from real-time global illumination. A custom SSD can
Great
load
game
data
right
at
here.
breathtaking speed, resulting in ultra-fast transitions between game worlds and data streaming rates so high that traversal speeds are essentially unlimited.
You okay? I'm working on it.
Tempest 3D audio tech brings an unparalleled sense of immersion to the sound of the games. With audio so real, you may not even need to see the enemies to know exactly where they are. Finally, the DualSense controller has haptics that let you feel through your hands what your character is experiencing inside of the game. It's wonderful to see such variety and richness of game experiences. Creators have made amazing use of the hardware capabilities, but when I talk to them, I do hear about their desire for more graphics performance.
More power.
The dreams of the developers are bigger than can be supported at 60 frames per second, and that leads to an aspect of modern gaming that we're all familiar with: graphics modes. It can be a difficult choice for players. Fidelity modes
It's a
emphasize
difficult
the visuals,
choice for
typically
players.
through higher resolution rendering. These modes might also have enhance detail or use more ray tracing. But the games only run at 30 frames per second. The visuals can be choppier, and the controls less responsive. Performance modes emphasize frame rate and interactivity, typically choosing to run at 60 frames per second, mainly by reducing the graphical detail until those frame rates can be achieved.
Yeah, there's such a big difference in between those two.
Players are choosing performance about 3/4 of the time. Removing that decision, or at least narrowing that divide, is one of the key targets for PlayStation 5 Pro. We want to give players the graphics that the game creators aspire to, at the high frame rates that players typically prefer. To do that, PS5 Pro substantially improves over PlayStation 5 in 3 ways. Here's what we call the Big 3. First, we made the GPU much larger and increased the speed of the memory it uses.
Bigger
The
is
result
better.
is rendering that's up to 45% faster. Second, we made major upgrades to the ray tracing, taking a streamlined and accelerated approach that allows calculation of the rays at double or even triple the speeds of PlayStation 5.
More rays are good.
And finally, we added custom hardware for machine learning and an AI library
Oh my
called PlayStation
gosh.
Spectral Super Resolution.
Oh my
or
gosh.
PSSR for
AI is
short.
gonna take over the world.
PSSR analyzes the game images pixel by pixel and can add an extraordinary amount of detail,
It's actually a
which
good thing.
boosts the effective resolution of the games. Game creators are adding PS5 Pro support to new and existing titles, and with the Big 3 involved, the results can be pretty amazing, with graphics showing something like fidelity levels of detail, but at double the frame rate. Here's The Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5 Pro. It has huge amounts of detail and targets a super
So much
smooth
different.
60 frames per
Can't
second.
believe it. Sounds good though. Okay.
Let's compare this to the fidelity mode on PS5, which is only running at 30 frames per second and is therefore much choppier. This goal of delivering almost fidelity-like graphics at performance frame rates has been achieved for a broad set of titles, including Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. We
Heck
can see
yeah.
that PS5 Pro is close to doubling the power of PlayStation 5.
Or just play it on PC.
Another way to compare the two consoles is to look at PS5 Pro versus Performance mode on PS5, both of which target 60 frames per second. What we see here is a difference in detail. PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5. For this, my favorite
say
is the parade
much.
scene from Ratchet & Clank. Distant details are much clearer. And here we can see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout the scene, including the trees and procedural
Streaming
cars.
through YouTube probably doesn't do this justice.
So overall, some remarkable improvement to the games. On PS5 Pro, we can see increased sharpness to the graphics or smoother and more responsive gameplay. This is the Big 3 showing their value. As you've been seeing, machine learning via the PSSR library is being used quite broadly to add pixel detail and boost frame rate. But there are as many approaches as there are game engines. The increase in raw GPU power is being especially effective for Horizon Forbidden West. Apart from the detail boost, that extra graphics power is allowing for improvements to lighting and visual effects, as well as to the hair and the skin in cinematics.
Open up, guys. Jorv's orders.
Good enough for me.
Ray tracing is finding broad usage as well, particularly when the games are focused on higher frame rates. The faster hardware in PS5 Pro can make a real difference, allowing Gran Turismo 7 to add ray-traced reflections between the cars in gameplay, while continuing to support their targeted 60 frames per second. That boost in ray tracing is also delivering big wins for Hogwarts Legacy, allowing not only for better reflections and a greater variety of reflective surfaces, but also for further realism in the casting of shadows. I hope you've enjoyed this run-through of the technology behind PlayStation 5 Pro. Simply put, it's the most powerful console we've ever built, and a worthy addition to the PS5 family. Let me wrap this up by giving you a quick look at a number of games running on the new console.
You'll never
Alright, let's see what it looks like. There's this three vents. It's got fins now. I see if try.
hanging.
I'm gonna show a new game.
Close your eyes. It'll be worth it.
Okay.
That is a good game.
What's with all the neon?
That is Ubisoft's game. Alright, that looks cool. Hang on. Where's the disk drive? $6.99, 700 bucks. 700 bucks. 700 bucks. That's the most important part right there. That's the most important part right there. Let's look at that. Right there. 700 bucks. November 7th. 700 bucks. All right, guys. So me thinking that it was not started yet. Let's see what happened here. Did I miss anything? Let's go back.
I'm Mark Cerny. I'm excited to be here to talk about the newest addition to our console lineup, PlayStation 5 Pro, and how it advances gaming technology. But first, I want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the original
Okay,
PlayStation 5
we caught
and
it.
how it delivers an exceptional.
Okay, so you notice the PS5, that's the disc drive version, and then there is an attachment for this one. So is the new one gonna have a disc drive? Has no, if it's digital only, man, not buying it. Not buying it if it's digital only, guys. Sorry. We ain't going that route. You aren't gonna sell. Still gotta have that option. Now, if the standalone drives work with it, I'm cool. Cause I'll just buy one of those. But digital presentation. PlayStation. Let's see what people are saying in chat. Lack of disk drive. Where's the disk drive? Yep. See what they say. Where is the disk drive? Disk drive. Let's see here. Can't make enough. No disk drive. I'm out. Yep. Yeah, this is worse. This is worse than the PlayStation 3. Yeah, you crazy. You pay no $700 for no disc drive, guys. Yo, you smoking crack. But good thing is that the PS5 works just fine. I'd probably get those before they jack those prices up to $700, guys. $700, man. That's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know. What is their chat saying? There's no disk drive? Yeah, well, at least it's out there now. They can stop ignoring the fact that it's out there. And I'm big. You know, if it had a drive, I don't know. Is it that big of a jump though? Is it? They don't got the games. That's a problem. No games. No games. So no new game It's going to take advantage of this. It's just going to make your current games prettier. It's basically what the other one did. I can't see... They haven't even taken advantage of the PS5, to be honest. Yeah, this is a joke. L. We got L, L, W, L, L. People are saying L. Yeah, I'm going to say L. This ain't good. It ain't good look. $700 with no drive. You know what I mean? This drive, no physical version. Yeah. Keep trying. You ain't gonna sell this with no. Thing is, there's still Blu-rays to play. I still watch physical media on. It's probably the best thing to watch, like the Ultra Blu-rays, is on a PS5. And man, that's just they better have another version. That's all I got to say. Or the standalone drive. I mean, take all your money. November 7th. November. So November 7th. Let's see here. Let's look at that. August. November 7th. It's a Thursday. November 7th is a Thursday. Yeah. That's after. It's right before Black Friday. Was it Black Friday the 3rd? Thursday of the month? Is that how is it 3rd or 2nd? I can't remember. Does it tell you when? No, I guess not. Thanks, Microsoft. Don't tell me nothing. Let's see here. When is Thanksgiving? When is Thanksgiving? November 28th. Wow, it's 4th. So it's the end of the month. All right, so like 4 weeks before Thanksgiving. Yeah, so they got in before Black Friday. But yeah. All right, so my reaction is this ain't a very good look. Not a very good look. $700 is way too much. What is the current price of PlayStation right now? Let's see here. PlayStation. Let's see, PlayStation 5. Let's go to the little website here. Let's see here. Currently, I have to say it does look nicer without the drive, but I don't know why they couldn't have integrated it into here. They should have figured that out. PlayStation 5, stunning graphics, blah, blah, blah. Buy now. Let's see, buy now. $4.99. Yeah. Yep, I'm already getting responses in Discord. Yep. And no drive. No drive. No drive. No drive equals L. So this is the Slim Group, $4.99. So you're getting $200 more with no drive. How much hardware? Let's go hardware. What if you can you So right now they have the 2K bundle for $4.99. And what's the difference between these two? Digital Slim. Is this the one without the drive? Oh, this is a digital. So this is a digital with a game, and then digital with the drive, or drive, just a drive. Oh, that's so stupid. Upgrade and play on back market. I thought that said black market. I'm like, what the heck? uh, no, it doesn't. It's a $50 difference. A $50 difference. Say they're trying to say it's right now. All right, guys, it's $50 difference right now. Check it out. How much does it cost to buy the accessory? Let's see here. Can you buy the drive? I know you can buy the drive. Show all. DualSense storage. Storage? No. How do you buy the drive? DualSense Edge, console covers, gaming monitors. I'm on their site right now live. Let's see here. Yeah. So the console with the drive is $4.99, and without it, it's $4.89. So yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to find where you can buy their drive. I don't see where you can buy the disc drive. If you guys, anybody knows. Yeah, so right now the bundles, if you get the drive, 2K will be like $5 next year. And let's see. So they're showing the digital. I wonder if you can you add the drive in the, let's see here, edit and check out. Let's see if they try to upsell you the drive. Let's see what people also bought. Let's see here. They're not even trying to upsell you the drive. PS5 accessories. Let's go here. I don't even see where you buy the drive. Chargers and add-ons. There it is. So $80. So $80 if you if you buy it completely separate. But if you buy it straight out, it's only that for them. It's only a $50 difference. So, yeah, no excuse there. They're just if they mass produced them, it's gonna be 50 if they do the separate. So, this better work with this. Just saying. You can buy those. Yeah, so that is it. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing right now. 700. If this drive, they're just gonna make. They're gonna sell a ton of these if people buy it. So for $80, you can add it. But if they would have just added it, it'd only been a $50 more. So it's post the link. Then you buy it separate, yes. It's separate, yes. Yes. Built in. So yeah, if they would have built it in, it would have been $50, a $50 difference. So yeah, the difference between the two. And you have to buy it separate. Yes. Yes. If it was built in, it would have only is the cost $50. If it was built in, it because that is what it is now. It costs only $50. All right, so yeah, if they would have built it in, it would only been $50 because they were mass produced it. Makes sense. So it wouldn't have raised the cost that much. It would have been 50. It's already $700. Add the $50. Add the $50 part. Yo, it's ridiculous. So, hate to see it. Hate to see it, guys. Hate to see it. How do you move it? You want it. Shotgun Sean wants it. Yeah. Not for yeah. So there it is, guys. It is I wonder if they have an update here. Oh, not yet. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. Does that drive work with it? You're gonna sell a ton of. I mean, if that's the option, that's the option. I'll take it. You know, if I was gonna buy it, I'm buying the drive with it. So it should. It just plugs in the back, right? It's got a clip on. That better work. At least if they give you that option, if they say that, I'm a little better with that. CNET has already confirmed that the drive works. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay. At least there's that. There's that. Okay. So. Yeah. So you can do the drive. CNET has confirmed. Let's dig into that. CNET's confirmed it. PS5 Pro. Hands-on. See what they're saying. Okay, they got their hands on it. CNET, I visit Sony. All right, let's get this out. Oh, does he have a video? Let's see here. He's got a video.
Bunch of games on it. Here's what's going on.
All right,
it's been 4 years since Sony released the PlayStation 5, which went by pretty fast in the middle of a pandemic. But the idea of next generation kind of lingers in my head, and probably for a lot of people. When do you buy a console? Well, Sony has had mid-range console upgrades in the past. The PlayStation 4 Pro came out 3 years after the PlayStation optical drive. You have to buy.
Okay, here we go.
What do you get? Well, there's no optical drive. You have to buy that separately. You can use the same optical drive that's available on the Slim model and pop it in.
There we go.
And also, it may be that a lot of people choose to prefer the digital version now, considering that there's also Wi-Fi 7, and the size of the drive is now bumped up to 2 terabytes. Which
Ooh. Bet. All right, learning. All right, this is the link. This is the link we need. This is the more info. Let's see here. Paste this in Discord. I'm still kicking live on this. All right, so so this gives you way more information. That whole thing was just a freaking presentation. So what do they got here? So Wi-Fi 7, 2 terabytes. Thank you. We need that.
which is the same speed as the SSD in the previous models. Same CPU too, but the GPU is a lot beefier. It's supposed to be 67% more powerful and 38% faster, and it's going to provide better performance for all the games and a lot more things like ray tracing.
So it's basically the adding the graphics card. It's like upgrading your graphics card on your computer. So, yeah.
There's also
Definitely.
a big focus on upgrading the resolution of existing games. PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution is the technology that uses an AI neural upscaling using a convolutional neural network to basically just make sure the games play really nicely in 4K. And speaking of 4K, existing PlayStation 5 games, they always had two modes, which was either 1080p, 60 frames per second, or 4K at 30 frames per second. Sony's now offering a Pro mode that glues both of those together, and so you're getting both 60 frames per second and 4K.
Pro mode. So they're gonna have a pro mode. Did you catch that little check this light right here? This light right here, it kind of flickers.
And
Yeah.
P 60 frames per second or 4K at 30 frames per second. Sony's now offering
See,
a Pro
it's
mode
kinda got that
that
little
glues
flicker
both of those together, and so you're getting both
right
60
here.
frames per second
So this will kind of
and
light
4K.
shimmering.
Now, that's exactly what I would have wanted to play in the first place. If you're interested in doing things like 8K gaming, or you want to do things like 120 frames per second, There are capabilities for games to do that, but those are going to be on a game-by-game basis. The real push here is for really nice 4K 60 frames per second.
You know what? I'm a big proponent of 120. 120 is amazing. If you play on the ROG Ally or anything at 1080p, 120 makes way more difference than the 4K to me. I would do 2K at 120. I'll take 2K at 120 any day. Yeah, so yeah, that's where my head's at. It'd be more yes.
Across the board for your entire library. What does it do that? But those are going to be on a game-by-game basis, frames per second and 4K. Now, that's exactly what I would have wanted to play in the first place. If you're interested in doing things like 8K gaming, or you want to do things like 120 frames per second, there are capabilities for games to do that, but those are going to be on a game-by-game basis. The real push here is for really nice 4K 60 frames per second across the board for your entire library. What does this mean for the future of PlayStation? I got to talk to Mark Cerny, lead systems architect for PlayStation, and Hideaki Nishina-san, CEO of Platform for Sony Interactive Entertainment. They talked about how, in a lot of ways, PC gaming right now is providing a kind of an on-ramp for some of these technologies, but also allowing Sony to lead a bit with some things like ray tracing, where they're using an AMD-developed ray tracing technology that isn't even in existing GPUs. Some of that will kind of ride ahead, and other things, like maybe more advanced graphics that you might be used to on PCs, will finally have a chance to come over to PlayStation 5 Pro. And as a lot of games now are increasingly cross-platform, and Sony's games live on PCs, you'll probably see much more of that cross-pollination. Clearly a fidelity push for people who may have really big TVs or really big AV lovers and want something that either looks the best it can be or runs really smoothly. On the big screens that I played on, you could definitely see the difference, but if you're a PlayStation 5 owner, I think you could also be fine continuing to play the PlayStation 5. There are going to be about 50 games that come out at launch with upgrades specifically for the PS5 Pro. Now, while a lot of them will involve the introduction of this new Pro mode that will be able to run at a smooth 60 frames per second and 4K performance, there are going to be others that do other things. It could be graphic upgrades to the environment, more people in the environment. So that's a console. Let's go play the games. This is Sony's PlayStation demo room where I got to try out the PlayStation 5 Pro on a bunch of games in 2 different setups. The first one, got to play on 2 different monitors, checking out a whole bunch of games on the PlayStation 5 and then the PlayStation 5 Pro, looking at the 2 different play modes, fidelity and performance on the 5, and then the Pro mode on the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's Horizon Forbidden West. And then I got to play a few games on a big 80-inch screen, including Gran Turismo 7, which has an 8K mode, or alternately, one with ray tracing turned on.
8K mode?
Which is what I've got right here.
They have an
this is obviously the version I would want to play.
8K. They got Gran Turismo at 8K. That makes sense.
Beautiful.
If there's any game you're going to do 8K.
And Clank Rift Apart, and I love games like this. What's really fun is
Make
that
another
it's
Ratchet
just
Clank,
such a fast game, and I feel like the Pro makes it feel faster. So I'm grabbing one controller that's connected to a PS5, playing on a PS5 for a bit, and then I would jump back and forth between that and a PS5 Pro to see what it's like. This is the 4K 30 frames per second version of Horizon Forbidden West, which I'm used to and looks really good. But what looks even better is playing it 4K 60 frames per second on PS5 Pro, which looks buttery smooth and really crisp.
You're gonna have to have a
So,
TV that can take
it is like
advantage
going
of
back
this.
and playing it on the other on the
Your
third
TV's
frame.
got to
It's
be.
kinda
You're gonna have
hard
to upgrade
do,
your TV too, guys. You're
because
gonna have
this
to upgrade your
looks
TV.
really,
You're gonna have to
really
upgrade
nice.
everything.
Unfortunately, Sony didn't let us do any direct capture of the PlayStation 5 Pro during our demos at Sony's headquarters. And they didn't let us do any close-up, real extended looks at the gameplay on screen either. But hopefully you can get an understanding
Don't
of what
look
I'm
at it.
talking about for when the system debuts
Don't look-
on November 7th.
don't
What
look
does this
at-
mean for the future of next-gen gaming? Well, that's hard to tell because we're not maybe fully in next-gen gaming yet, but we're getting there by increments. PlayStation 5 Pro is the
look how much
hottest of the
taller
new
it
gaming
is.
technology tech that we've seen.
Look how much
and it's
taller
adopting
that
some
is. That
ideas
sucker's
that
a
PC
big
gaming
boy
still doesn't have
anyway.
yet. It'll be really interesting to see where games start to evolve and get better along with PS5 Pro graphics, but also where the PS5 Pro ray tracing and all of that tech
Guys,
begins to
buy
hint
a ton of
at
those
where
drives.
technology is going to be headed for
You
PC
can be selling
gaming
those
to
drives
come.
like crazy.
Not everyone's going to want to upgrade to this, but I'm really curious about what games are going to start looking like on the hardware.
Okay,
We'll find out.
so
the
the
size
biggest-
of the drive is
the
now
biggest
bumped
thing
up to
right
2.
here
And
is the
also,
spec-
it may be that a
spec
lot of
sheet.
people choose to prefer
We'll
the
end it with
drive
this.
that's available on the Slim
So to answer questions right here,
that is already on the market and has an upgraded slimmer version.
$499.
Compared side by side, it's also not that much larger. In fact, it's a little bit smaller than the PlayStation 5 original, which is a nice surprise because
little bit
the
smaller, that
PlayStation
sucker's
4 Pro
taller.
was definitely bigger and thicker. What do
Unless-
you get? Well, there's no optical drive. You have to buy that separately. You can use the same optical drive that's available
All right, let
on
me-
the Slim,
let me- wait,
was
let me-
definitely bigger and thicker.
let's take a look at
What
that.
do you get?
So you got the two USB-Cs in the front. I can't remember. I have to go look. I think there was a. What was it? The original. So that's normal. So there's. Was it two USB-Cs? I want to say there was a regular USB on the front, on the original. Let's look at that. OG PS5. Let's see here. Let me see images. Let's see here. Let me look at that one. Can we 700 a fridge? I wish. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Let me see here. And you want to drive, you got to add it. Okay. It did have two USB-C. I couldn't remember. USB-C. So there's two USB-Cs. So that's normal, the USB-C part. Let's go back here. Go back to 100%. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot. So it's $699, and so CNET looks like they have the scoop on the specs. So the specs are
was
here.
definitely bigger and thicker. What do you get? Well, there's no optical drive. You have to buy that separately. You can use the same optical drive that's available on the Slim model and pop it in.
So that's good. So we have an option for the Slim drive. I think look how it looks taller.
And also, it may be that a lot of people choose to prefer the digital version now, considering that
No.
there's also Wi-Fi
No.
7, and the size of the drive is now bumped up to 2 terabytes.
That's good. So 2 terabytes, that's a win. That's a win right there. The 2 terabyte drive is a definite win on the PS5. That is first thing I did was upgrade. That's good. I ain't gonna hate them on that. And then being able to add another 2. But the thing is, these high fidelity games, they're gonna take more space. They just are. So
Which is the same speed as the SSD in the previous models. Same CPU too, but the
Yeah,
GPU
it's just
is a lot
basically a
beefier.
graphics card.
It's supposed to be 67% more powerful and
Basically a
38%
graphics
faster,
card.
and it's going to provide better performance for all the games and a lot more things like ray tracing. There's
yeah, so yeah, CNET's got a first look. So yeah, we're definitely gonna be talking about this next week. Just want to do a live reaction, see what's going on. CNET's got it a little more into detail. If you watch the announcement, it's just pretty much a fluff piece, just saying, "Hey, we're here." So I'm a little better with. Because they probably would have jacked it up another $100, like people are saying, but yeah, all the games they're saying are just enhancements. It's kind of like what the Pro did. They just they did the same thing. Basically, have a Pro mode Gran Turismo 7 looks like the best game. They got that running. They showed them running it in 8K. If you have an 8K TV, nobody has an 8K TV. It's like getting a TV for one feature and then having one thing to do with it. So, is it worth all that money? Nah. 700 in $800. Gonna cost you $800 to get what you need with the drive and everything. I wonder if they're gonna have the plates. That's the thing. It's gonna look, if you put the drive in there, you have to. That's another thing. If you put the drive in there, you're gonna have that whole side just with no cover. How's that gonna work? Are they gonna give you a different cover? Because these are taller. Look at it. That's freaking taller. You ain't gonna get the same covers with those. It's another thing. Because the way they were showing it off, it's not the same form factor. So all those covers and everything they're selling, you're not gonna be. They're gonna have a pro version with a disk drive. So you're gonna have one side of your, because wait a minute. Just a minute here. Where's that freaking video? There we go. I just seen it. Sorry. Blah 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 blah. No, they did not. They don't do Game Pass. Here it is. All right.
There's also a same speed
they got their
as the
plus.
so it may be that a lot of Wi-Fi 7 and slim model. What do you get? Well, there's no optical drive. You have to buy that separately. You can use the same optical drive that's available on the slim.
So that's just a slim. See how they got the slim? There's no cover. Oh, does the cover work? That, because that's that one section cover. Would you have to go buy the slim with that freaking cover? How are you gonna use the cover? This is what it's gonna look like if you don't have a cover. So you can have that thing sticking out.
Model. And
so yeah, that's what it's gonna look like on that side if you don't have the a cover for it. Are they gonna make a cover for it? Because people are gonna want that drive. That drive is gonna be valuable years later. This drive right here is gonna be so valuable. I like to see. Okay, I think there's a market to make a third party drive like this. I think this is where it might get hacked, to be honest. I think this might where it would get hacked. You think about it. If you can put another hard drive here, some kind of thing that has to recognize, I think this is a weak spot. Not saying I would do it, but I'm just saying this is going to be an option. So, all right, that is the news. The PS5 Pro is here, and I'm gonna call it a stream. You want to check out my reaction? It's a lot of money, man, for educational purposes. Yes, for educational purposes. But yeah, I could see that happening. I could see that being a point if it's already set up to take a device, and spoofing that device would be a, just a thought. Just a thought. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here, go mow the lawn, try not to run over a snake, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.